I think the previous presentations have posed the issue very well, how to be pragmatic and useful by using technology under severe financial crisis as we live it today in Greece. Also, it's a good bridge with the previous session that we discussed about ethical issues, and there was also a kind of a debate or discussion about if for the selection of electronic healthcare records for this reason. So I'm highly opinionated on saying that not only for Greece but for the rest of the world, and I have here a projection from the Congressional Budget Office of the United States, where on the one axis you see the healthcare expenditure with the 2009 estimation and the corrected 2014 estimation as percentage of the GDP. The numbers are quite big. And you see that there is a 35% discount on this expenditure. This is a huge number. So that means the funds for supporting healthcare are, so we have somehow to make healthcare much more productive than it is. So the starting point on the ethical basis is how to save more people and put comfort to more people by using technology. So this is the starting point of our discussion. And we have to do that in the same time that the percentage and the composition of the population is changing with keeping the elders more and more. So we create a silver economy, as it's called. The current attitude of healthcare, interestingly enough, because of ethics, regulations, or other reasons, is this: silos of information. So there is no information flow, reuse of information. This does not happen to any other industry. It's just healthcare that this happens. And to be honest with you, I mean, I'm telling you, I'm quite highly opinionated. I think the big issue here is the business model of healthcare, is the way that particular actors are positioned in the whole ecosystem of healthcare. So that's why we are stuck on that. Of course, the advent of this crucial cost reduction is the change factor. Especially for Greece, we saw that. We implemented in a few months a first system of e-prescription for Idika. It saved millions by just avoiding wrongly prescribed medication. Also, the same applies to having e-prescription and global infrastructure for the whole of Europe. So I'll give you my insight on Decipher, which is a project that is related, is running from companies from Italy, Catalonia, Spain, and the UK. And their big issue that they need to address, I think correctly so, is to figure out how to fight chronic diseases. And they're discussed there as cardiac vascular disease, stroke, respiratory diseases, and diabetes. And how to make tangible, real, workable, patient-centered artifacts that could help the doctors and the healthcare systems to this fight. And their target is diabetes type 2. And they keep an aspect of cross-border healthcare. And they came up, they had the challenge document where I picked these numbers from the studies below, that they calculate the value, which is also something I always take into consideration, and this is how technology should be financed. This is today's cost of today's productivity healthcare system on diabetes. And you see that the basic outcome of this is that the cost of prescribing medications for complication of diabetes is 3 to 4 times the cost of prescribing diabetes medications. So we do not manage to achieve a level of healthcare that avoids complications, and the complications cost so much. And of course, this is eventually, to me, profoundly logical, because the whole of the healthcare system initiates acting once you have a problem, not preventing or trying to start earlier and using the problem. So our suggestion and our concept on that is to utilize information in order to bring the doctor, which you see on this side, and the patient, and utilize technology so that the treatment plan that the doctor prescribes to the patient includes weighing, getting your blood pressure, measuring your glucose meter, exercising, doing physical activity. It could be augmented with nutrition, dietary, also with medication. So the device, the application and the system encapsulates this treatment plan and gives the opportunity to the doctor to monitor it. And of course you see, okay, but how do you get out of the silos? For this reason, we used some concepts you see over there like EPSOS, and there was a big discussion about in the previous session, the healthcare system has its own electronic healthcare record, and the data accumulated by this system is on the personal healthcare record maintained for the purposes of this particular customer. And this is a depiction, a static depiction of the architecture, which I just make one comment because it gets too technical. We can come up, if you like, on this, on very particular details, that we have to build this. This is a technical, but also very important from the financial and resilience point of view. We have to build applications on the mobile healthcare area on the left-hand side that are interoperable in this environment. So we're not going to end up in a situation which is very much the situation we're at current state, that we have many different small applications that are doing something. Because the major objective is that these eHealth applications, mobile healthcare applications that run on this beautiful invention called smartphone, is that applications that could be clinically exploited. So we approached a data-driven principle, which we try to work on frictionless collaboration between patient and doctor, and we utilized Internet of Things, and there are different business models possibly developed there on how to enhance that and promote that practice. And of course, we keep in mind the cross-border aspect, which is important for other use cases as well. There's not such a unique and global solution, but there are other use cases. And of course, there were many presentations in this conference that the advent of new technologies that would provide, once we have the data available and the data flowing, would provide further enhancements are in place if we like using deep learning, and there are already examples like deep learning and artificial intelligence related stuff. I'm just going to give you one slide in EPSOS. EPSOS is the organized effort in the digital landscape of EU to have a homogeneous digital artifacts between countries, which currently are e-prescription and patient summary. So what we have managed a few years ago is to execute in a Greek pharmacy in Plaka, in Athens, a prescription issued in Germany. And of course, this now has been enhanced to include patient summary and basic patient-related information to be accumulated from the national systems and to be conveyed and translated using common codification. This is essential for the whole set and landscape of eHealth. Of course, another aspect that was related mostly to the previous session is the privacy and the ethics. This is very high in the agenda because you can understand in this changing landscape of healthcare that we have to take the correct chances. So the idea we propose, and this is also our product philosophy, is that patient is in charge of his own data, which is not the case right now. So he can apply using his application who is the doctor that can view his patient summary and which sections actually, and he can revoke this right once this has been concluded. And he can do that from his next of kin as well. And of course, for the doctor side, the big lure and the big advantage is that he gets more productive because he could focus with notifications for all the, which is very important for diabetes, or all the cases of patients that do not follow their treatment plan. So he can be proactive. And actually he can, I would say, following and looking at the notifications of the system could be something that he could delegate to his assistant, and he could focus on more productively in everyday work. And this is also based on, this is a solution that we devised for these healthcare systems, has been selected out of 27 related, and now this is based on what we aim and we focus on, which is a patient-centric and standard-based platform for exchanging data using standards and utilizing the design privacy by design principle. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you very much.